Hello, everyone. I am back again. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Courtney Joshua. I am the CEO of ConfidenceHer, where we help women to be confident while transforming their lives to God's will and ways. I am back for another mentoring moment on this lovely Friday. And listen, this mentoring moment, we are going to talk about our worth. And I'm excited to go into this. I really don't know how and which way this is going to go. I just know I've asked God to meet me. I've prayed. And so now it's just time to go for it. And so, like I mentioned already, this mentoring moment is on your worth, on my worth. It's on worth, okay? And I just want to ask a question that may seem simple, but it's actually packed in. I really just want us all to take a moment and really think about, do do we know our worth? Okay. Now, let me talk about me for a minute. Years ago, I thought that me knowing my worth, or even not so long ago, right? But a few years ago, I thought me knowing my worth was just me knowing my boundaries, me knowing that you can't just come and do this to me or that to me. And in a way, it's tied to you knowing your worth, I would say, in some ways, but it's actually bigger than that. And for a long time, I thought that knowing your worth was just making sure that you didn't get ran up over on like a doormat. Okay, a lot of girls today, we see that they may know that they're pretty, they may know they're attractive, they may know that they look good, they may even be successful, be thriving in life and these things. But beloved, do you know your worth? Because when we're in situations and relationships and are and entangled with anything less than God's perfect will for us and his best for us, do we truly know our worth? And I mean by that is knowing that you look good, knowing more about your outward appearance, and while your inside is not fed and is empty, uh, it's not enough to just know that you look good or that you know how to dress or that uh, uh, any of the material things, none of that matters, and it doesn't contribute to knowing your worth. And so I want to ask a question: do we truly know our worth? Something that my father always told me. And for me, my father was in prison most of my life, most of me growing up. And so when I was about 12 years old, he got a life sentence. God miraculously brought my father home after serving over 20 years in prison. Last year in 2024, after making the faith move, after my kids and I made the faith move to Dallas, Texas. And so, something he always told me, even from the inside, that always stuck with me is don't settle. You're a queen. Do not settle. Do not settle. Come on. And when I say don't settle, it's even for ourselves. Don't even settle for a version of you that you know can be better. Remain teachable. Remain teachable. And so, do you know your worth? Do we know our worth? For a long time, I thought, let's just talk about relationships. For a long time, I've seen my cousins and my father, and I related. I thought that that was the type I should be with, right? Seeing my father, he's a gangster, and I thought like, okay, well, a fly crip will be the thing. I'm sorry, I gotta keep it. I gotta just say it. Okay, so I thought that that was it for me. I thought that was the best thing smoking for me until I got a real taste of God's love, until I really experience relationship with Jesus Christ, until I actually experience encounter with him, until his words start actually being revelation to me, until I actually start seeing it and how it applied and played in my life, until it became real to me. I thought that that was enough. And then once I experienced God's love, and as I matured something my father told me is, if you ever want to know somebody, this is it. If you ever want to know somebody, you just listen to them. If you listen to them, they'll tell you who they are. If you talk to a stranger, you'll learn something about them. Okay. So he told me, if you ever really want to know somebody, do less talking. They'll tell you who they are. You watch them and you listen. Okay. And then my daddy told me why he was in prison. He told me, he said, and you don't pick a man by way of how he looks or what he got or none of that. You pick him based off of his character, his values, his morals, goals, alignment. This is what you pick him off of. And so knowing your worth, when you come into relationship with Jesus Christ, you realize that some things just don't deserve your time. Some things just don't deserve your energy. We not better than nobody, but I'm just saying, you understand when you come on. Last week was on identity. When you begin to understand who you are, who God created you to be, who God says you are, what God says you have. When you begin to understand these things, when you begin to understand your God-given identity and walk in it, you realize that a lot of these things that you've done or would have done are no longer things that you value as much. They're no longer things that you know that serve you. They just don't. It's no point in that for you. It's that ain't it. Okay, and so do I know my worth? Do I know my worth? As I said, don't settle. Don't settle for a version of you that could be better. We're always evolving. Remain teachable. Nobody knows it all or hits the limit on knowing as much as no. Remain teachable. Remain humble. Remain teachable, beloved. Remain teachable. And when I say, do you know your worth? It has nothing at all to do with money, but rather than you just knowing the outside and how to put it on and how to look good and how to pop out, right? Rather than you just knowing that, is the inside right. That you be a woman who takes care of the inside and not just your appearance, okay? But actually allow have that relationship with God and allow him to pour it into you and take care of your mental health and your emotional health and in these things, the inside, right? Your spiritual health, your spiritual life, your soul, your mind, your body. Okay. So in Proverbs 31:10, in the Message translation, it says, a good woman is hard to find and she's hard to find and worth far more than diamonds. She's worth far more than diamonds. So knowing your worth does not all equate to money or how much you can be brought for or none of that in any type of way. But knowing your worth, knowing who God says you are, knowing your identity, knowing when things no longer serve you or when it's just not for you or when you can do better. There's permissible, but why get in the permissible when there's a perfect will for us, when God has a perfect will for us? When there is better, why settle for less? When there is the best, why settle for just anything? Keep striving, keep living, keep growing, keep remaining teachable and humble and allowing God to take you from glory to glory to glory and growing you as the woman that He created you to be. So this mentoring moment was on knowing your worth. Do you know your worth? I feel like that question is kind of packed, and I actually want to bring on someone maybe next week if I could get to her so we can expand on this. But I just want to come in obedience, first of all, to the Lord of doing this and really just bringing before you this question on do we know do we know our worth? Do we know our worth? Do we know? Because just knowing you look good is not enough. Do you truly know your worth? This is the mentoring moment on worth. I love you all. I pray that I've said something that you can take and sit with God about, and that it will minister. He will begin to minister to you and cover you with love and embrace you as His daughter and pour into you on who you are and who He created you to be and the purpose that He has for your life, and that you are indeed worthy. You are worthy. He says you're worthy. And so we come into agreement with heaven. We come into agreement with what God has already spoken, and we thank Him for it. In Jesus' name, I love you guys, and I will be back for another one. Leave me a comment. I would love to comment with you guys in um, any questions or things that you want to bring to the forefront, or that you would like me to touch on, maybe some topics that you would love to hear about. uh, Shoot me a DM on Instagram. You can follow at ConfidenceHer. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Or just leave a comment down below and I will get back to you. I'm sorry, I I love you all and have a good one. Bye.